Hello, welcome to the Mediocre Takes podcast, the podcast where we share our mediocre takes on the shows and movies we watch. I'm Marco, I'm here with my co-host Mel. How are you doing, Mel?
Okay, given our list for this year, how much do you think we're going to actually be able to finish realistically?
Okay, first let me look at our list, because we have like 5 things for each month. Some of these are really short, but 5 times 12 is 60. So I feel like we could do at least 40. And if we get to 40, then I feel like that would be an accomplishment.
Wow, okay.
Why? What do you think?
I think we can get all of them done.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe. I still haven't edited anything since our update podcast episode. I'm a really slow editor, you guys. So yeah. Today we're talking about Hugo's Mind Palace. Now, would you like to go into what this pilot is about?
Yeah, sure. Uh, okay, so needing to make up for 5 months of missing rent, Hugo, Sam, and George venture to a spirit dimension for a costly angel heart. After obtaining the heart through dubious means, they sell it off. Still not making enough, they throw in a cute little artifact from Ohio, which Tim, the landlord, accepts.
So the first thing I want to mention is I really like the line the landlord gives of "I'm so lonely and I wish I had some like friends," and then some like just weird creatures come out of nowhere. That was probably the cutest thing I've seen in pilot. I was actually really interested in the ending of this pilot, and I wish we got what was happening there as the main plot of the pilot, because I felt like that was gonna be like a way more interesting plotline than what we got in this pilot. Like, I genuinely believe that plotline would have been way better than the plotline we got in this episode. And I get that pilots are short, but they could have like cut some of the boring parts out to add more interesting things to this pilot. I'm not the biggest fan of the main character. I think it has to do with his voice. I don't know, something about it. It just turned me off.
Is
It
it
was good.
because he's British?
Yeah, exactly. That's why. I don't know, something about his British voice just it really turned me off, you know? I really like the line, "The cruel iron fist of capitalism has turned on me." Such a great line. I like that one of the characters is a robot and we never go into detail on why she's a robot or what happened to her. Like, she's just a robot, deal with it. It's great. I love that the god turned the tables on them and it was like there's no such thing as days here. Also, I don't like Hugo, is that his name? His third eye.
Yeah. What about it?
It looks weird. I don't know. It's something about it.
Oh, but you're okay with Garnet?
Yeah, I am.
Do you think it has anything to do with George? Cause Hugo's third eye, the pupil is purple, just like George's eye.
Whoa, I never noticed that. That's an amazing theory. But that's just a theory. A film
Wow.
theory.
Okay, you're done.
Honestly, this left me with so many questions. Like, why does the guy have a third eye? Why is there a sludge character thing? And how did they create these portals?
Okay, the sludge thing has a name. He's George. I really like this version of a portal machine, like how it's a zipper that you open up into another world. I don't know if that's been done before, but it probably has, but this is the first time I've seen it, and I thought it was really cool. I also liked how each of the three main characters have distinct personalities that I liked. Something I really appreciate in any sort of animated media is the amount of detail they put into their backgrounds. Like, there are books with real titles instead of scribbles, and a box that says 40 shapes don't open, and literally Marco, Bimo from Adventure Time is just sitting on one of the shelves.
I noticed that, but I also forgot about it. But
Literally.
yeah, cool reference.
And that's the cool thing about like having a show where the whole thing is like dimension hopping is you can have like Easter eggs like that. In Hugo's fridge, he had a milk cart that said milk with bits, and I just think if you want to add more humor and personality to your animated project, one of the easiest ways to do that is to just fill out the background with cute little Easter eggs or just silly little things. Something I thought was interesting was when Tim, the landlord, asked them where they got all their stuff when he's literally leasing a place to a British with three eyes, a robot, and whatever George is. Like, where do you think they're getting these things, guy? Also, speaking of George, there was something so funny about weird alien creatures having generic white man names. Kind of like how the alien from American Dad's name is Roger. There's just something so. It's like naming your dog like Alfred or something.
Overall, this was an okay pilot/short film. I enjoyed it for what it was. I still don't like the British character, but I feel like this will set up some really cool things. So I'm excited if this ever gets a sequel, what it's setting up for.
I know that this creator has also made like little shorts with the wizard we see from the beginning, but that's it. I don't think I didn't watch it, but
Oh, okay. Maybe that
eh.
has something to connect with this series, but that'd be cool.
This was like if Rick and Morty was a good show. And I know that's a controversial statement. That's why I said it.
I love that. I really do.
But truthfully, this was just a fun, solid pilot. Given it's a show about traversing other dimensions to obtain objects to sell, there's a lot you can do with that. If this was turned into a series, there's also so much you can do with just character exploration, since there's something going on with each of the main characters. But it's also just a good one off. I really liked the silly little things and Easter eggs put in the backgrounds and all the characters, except the landlord. I think the only major problem I had with this show was that Hugo was British. Well, it's time to exit that mind palace and go into a new mind palace called the Mediocre Minute, which is a tiny little micro moment where me and Marco recommend books, comics, music, games, and more for you all to check out. My recommendation is the interactive story Project Hadia. It's a sci-fi story with a really cool premise. A true page turner with a lot of characters I liked and one I really hated. I will say it is a work in progress. As of recording, there are 4 chapters out, so if you're okay with reading something that isn't finished, check out the creator Nihilism, spelled Nyehillism, on itch.io. And while you're there, you can also peruse their other works. Marco, what is your recommendation?
My recommendation is The Magic Fish. This is about a boy named Tien, or that's how I think you pronounce it. He is Vietnamese and his family has immigrated to America, but he is keeping a secret that he is gay from his mother. And it's about him and his mother like reading fairy tales and them connecting through these fairy tales. And it's about him like finding the words to speak about his sexuality. This is a really sweet story. I really love it. I have mixed feelings about the ending because, well, I'm not going to get into spoilers. It's not bad. It's not a bad ending. I just think it could have been better written. But overall, this is a really great graphic novel. I really recommend it. And yeah, anyways, you guys, that's our thoughts on Hugo's Mind Palace. If you want to send us a voice message on Spotify for podcasters, there'll be a link in the description below to do so. We also have Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at MidTakesPod. And that's everything. So, goodbye.